Over the past 18 months, the response to Juno AI has been phenomenal. To share this feedback, we've invited several builders and distributors to share their thoughts, as well as a number of interior designers and tech bloggers.
The first and most important test of a light-speaker combination is sound quality. When I was testing these lights, I played the music for the Singled and the Lithonia lights through an Amazon Echo Flex because it can plug directly into an outlet and stay off the counter. But for the Juno AI, it has Alexa built in, so there's no need for another device. You can see here that the frequency response ranges are basically directly correlated to the speaker's price tag, with the Juno wildly outperforming the rest. Then significantly worse was the Lithonia, followed closely by the Singled Solo and then the Singled Pulse. Here's some example audio from each of the speakers so you can hear it for yourself. In person, the difference is even more staggering. None of the speakers sounded terrible, but for most of them I thought to myself, yeah, this is acceptable for a shower speaker. But the Juno sounds superb, the kind of speaker that you would use to actually fill a room with high quality sound. In the end, it's still a single speaker, but the engineers of Juno have done an amazing job tuning the enclosure to provide an even and consistent sound. So let's talk about the differences in the light they produce. The Juno AI light is intended to be constantly powered, not controlled by a light switch. The Juno is adjustable via Amazon Echo commands to change both the color temperature and the brightness. The other strange thing about the Juno light is that the light looks really good, like really good. I know it sounds like a strange thing to say, but things that are being lit up by the Juno just look better than they do under other light. This is a property called CRI, or Color Rendering Index. And in my experience, manufacturers, especially Chinese white label brands, tend to wildly overrepresent their CRI. However, the Juno actually produces this high CRI light. And with the risk of sounding like a broken record, the light produced by the Juno AI just looks better than other kinds of light. The Juno AI is one of those devices that when you see it, hold it, and use it, you can tell that it is an expensive, high-quality product.
So I was attending the International Builder Show this year and made it a point to stop by the Juno Acuity booth. And next thing I know, I was in a soundproof room in the middle of the International Builder Show and had the opportunity to experience Juno AI firsthand. And it was quite the impression. The product is going to be a little bit of a game changer for us when it comes to smart home type products.
Lighting controls and entertainment aspects are two of the biggest smart home features that we get requests for. So you're really kind of taking care of both of them in one product here.
Almost every one of our clients are doing sound, but it was always a separate platform. It was sound separate in the ceiling, more ceiling acne, for lack of a better term, seeing more stuff that had to be cluttering up the ceilings in the kitchens and dinings and dens and everything else. Having this capability allows us to do all in one and have it voice controlled with the circadian rhythm. So that combination has been just awesome in our aspect. We can't wait to really get into this first model, Parade Homes.
And so the Juno AI product basically takes that opportunity to have that smart speaker be more discreet and more functional to day-to-day life versus typical smart speakers that are available today. Really, the biggest change for us is in our current world, we're not able to provide our homeowners smart speakers before close. And the reason being is they're a tabletop device. They can very easily walk off the job site. Whereas with the Juno AI product, it's installed, and yes, could it still walk off the job site, but it would be a lot harder preposition with 10 to 12 foot ceilings.
The biggest thing is it gives us a part of the market share that we didn't have. And so this platform gives us a further share of the home building market. And that was the number one thing that my boss and the president of our company, Bruce Somerville, that really hit home with him. You know, if we can take more share away from somebody else that's basically a competitor to us, that was a huge point with him. So, and again, with my electrician too, because it gives him more of the home as well, rather than he's just running a wire and these other guys are hooking it up. So, that's been a huge plus. But we've already had 2 different sessions where we invited almost every home builder we deal with, and it gives us, at the price point, we're not talking about a huge $10,000, $20,000 system, and they can have a lot of smart home control.
We offer always lighting control, whether it be a Lutron lighting control or different lighting control systems, or just dimmers. And we always offer the pre-wire. We're always suggesting, no matter what, they pre-wire for sound, which this would eliminate that. Then you need the amps, and those are $1,000 a zone, our cost. It's $1,000. It's a lot of money. Somebody say, hey, I want 6 zones and $6,000 just in sound in 6 areas of the house. It gets a little pricey. So, and plus we have a markup on that, obviously. Then when we go into this, hey, we could not to have any extra sound, we can do it in the speakers for substantially less without all the wiring that we have to. And sometimes they'll come back, and even if it were a pre-wire, they have to come back and cut the holes. We're going to videotape or tone out where the wire is, get them lined up with the current recess that are in the room, cut out the holes, make a mess, later on if they end up doing the speakers. This takes all of that out of the picture and allows the client and ourselves, a lot easier to be able to do this. And I think it's where we can make money on it. It's going to save the client money in the long run, and it's a win-win-win.
And also from a savings standpoint, and we don't do these in every home, we do them upon customer request, or dimmers. Obviously some of the functions of the Juno AI product series eliminates the need for dimmers, that it's all voice controlled. And I think that in those aspects, it'll provide more value to the customer and make our supply chain a little easier. I think that the product is going to be the wave of the future, and part of the reason being is it ends up being a built-in device, but it's not so difficult and it's not so complex that, if the homeowner changes their mind about placement, all they need to do is find another location with a recessed can, and they could move it themselves if they wanted to.
So far, we've had, I think, about a dozen clients in the room since we got these installed. So we show it to everybody. So that's not even a question. There's no reason why you wouldn't.
And what we're going to do is we're going to display it in some of our brand new model homes that will be opening here in the next 60 days. We are going to show it in our sales offices. We're going to show it in our lighting showroom and possibly even our design showrooms.
We sold a kit yesterday, a 6, one Alexa, one Alexa, 1 speaker, and 4 lights. And that was purely a guy that walked in, saw the sample. They took him up to the kitchen, showed it to him, and he walked out with the package yesterday. So, and that was sold on our counter, by my counter guy. So, and that's been a good potential. I don't think we're not really going to not show this to anybody. I mean, we're willing, I think it's a potential with anybody.
And having the capability of retrofitting, now putting this in later, we can go back to past clients and be able to do the same thing. So
the lights that we have are right above our presentation screen. So when the clients come in and sit down, we introduce them as soon as they get in the room, because we'll run our scene and dim the lights to, let's say, 5%. And the music will be down really low. And then it'll go through a scene where it introduces Cabo Builders and the technology that we offer. And then it kind of sets the mood for the whole meeting. And they're like, wow, what is that? And can we get some of that? Those speakers for our home. And that's how we start selling.
This gives me no smart control in the wall, all in the ceiling. So no, my home builder loved it because he was like, you mean I can go back to my dollar switches now? Of course, yeah. With the cheap switch, you still have full dimming control. You have control of other devices that you didn't have before. So, that was one of the things that has really pushed this product over using the in-wall smart product.
Very scalable. That's also a benefit to our salespeople because they can understand that kind of upgrade a lot easier. They can understand wiring and doing a whole house for like Crestron or Lutron or something like that. So it's very, very easy for the customer to understand, but also for the salespeople to explain. Well, right now we're working on several models where we're going to put this in. We send a monthly update of where we're building new communities, new models, where those places are, and strongly encourage our vendor representatives to call on those people, just like we did with our franchise in Alabama. During that time when they're getting ready to go into a new community or starting a new model, this is a prime time for your agents to get with our local people there. We, from our office, have already communicated. We've given them pricing. We've included this in the options in their computer systems or their processes where they can easily access everything. The next aspect is to have somebody be there on hand to sort of walk them through it, help them to understand the product. AR Homes, as a franchisor, is recommending to put in their model homes and for their customers to see. You being there to reinforce that helps even more. Daphne Nichols at Experience Lighting, she's just been a joy to work with and very knowledgeable about the product, very enthusiastic about the product.
My largest commercial contractor, their general manager, he was interested in it when I kind of told him about it several months ago. Probably the third day after we got our stock order in, he did his whole house. So I sold him 22 total units for his house, and so far he's loved it.
It's really going to be a game changer from a marketing standpoint.
My whole team, they're like, it's a no-brainer. It really does make a lot of sense because it's all about improving lifestyle.
What's been really neat about working with the team and looking at Juno AI is it's a reminder of the other relevant items that Juno has available in the marketplace that could assist us with using more of the products in the home. So it was kind of the opportunity to look at Juno again, which I haven't done in a number of years. And so with that, we plan on looking at opportunities to use more of the products in our homes, both from a commodity standpoint as well as from a highly featured standpoint like Juno AI. You know, any advice I could possibly give to your agents and anyone interacting with builders or dealers or whatever is don't hesitate to lean on the Juno reputation because it's a solid one.
I think this is a very easy product for a lot of different agencies that are not used to this kind of thing, to sell just a wired product. I believe they'll quickly learn that this is an easy sell, easy upgrade. It's not incredibly cost prohibitive for what it does and what it accomplishes and what it benefits the homeowners. And then the final thing for anybody putting it in their home and everything is, I mean, it is really cool and easily something you want to show off and brag about. So I think for your agencies and salespeople, this would be an easy thing for them to adjust to real quickly.